to Her Season, the podcast for women who know they're meant for more and are ready to become the happiest, healthiest, hottest, and most successful version of themselves. I'm your host, Georgia Stockton, and this podcast is your place to learn the tools, habits, and mindset shifts that help you step into the best version of yourself. The woman who is confident, who takes care of her mind and body, who goes after big dreams and actually makes them happen. Each week, you're going to hear powerful conversations with successful entrepreneurs, health and wellness experts, and inspiring women sharing real strategies that help you level up your life. Because becoming her doesn't happen by accident. It happens through small, intentional choices every single day. So if you're ready to level up your life and become the woman you know you're capable of being, you're in the right place. This is Her Season. Guys, welcome back to the Her Season podcast. I am so excited for today's episode. We have Lainey Green on. Lainey, you can say, hey. Lainey is so inspiring to me because one, you've not only had one business, you've had like multiple businesses. And not only has she had multiple businesses, but she was doing them while you were in college. That's when we first met. You were killing it with a business in college while you were in school. And I just admire you so much. And I'm so grateful that you took time out of your day to come on and chat today and just kind of pour some inspo, some tangible tips into the women listening. And I could not wait for them to hear what all you have to say and hear about your story.
Thank you. You're so sweet. I'm so excited.
So without further ado, as you know how the season podcast works, we want to start off and I want to hear about the current season of life you're in. How would you describe it? Like, is there a word that defines this season for you? And give me like a day in the life of your current season.
Okay. I would say that this season of my life could be defined as like building. I feel like I'm just in like build mode, growth mode, and it's been super exciting. So I started a marketing agency out of college, and it's just been crazy to see how it's worked out and, working with big clients and managing all of it, also managing post-grad life. And yeah, so it's really exciting, like a little day in my life, what it looks like. Being your own boss is really fun, but it's also really hard.
Blessing
So
at
I
first.
feel exactly, because it's your name on the door. So if you don't want to do something, you have to do it. So day in my life, every day looks different, which is something that I love. I love always having a fresh new day. You never know where it's going to take you. But I always start out with my to-do list. It's this journal. And I will literally just write out like everything that I have to do for the day because I believe if I write it down, it has to get done.
Love.
So,
Lainey, do we not have you a season planner?
no.
Oh my gosh, we are making that happen today. We'll get you figured out what color you want. But yeah, we're gonna make that
So
cuter
many
for you.
colors. I need a new one because I had the one for last year.
Yes, okay. Yeah, we'll get you a season planner. Don't you worry.
Yeah, because I love my journal. I think it's something that's so important in every day, like, and just writing down also like how you're feeling. That's what I love about the season planner. It asks you more questions than just what is my to-do list, and if I don't have a prompt, I'm not gonna do it. That's my thing.
Yep.
But yeah, so I start out doing that. I always have a morning coffee. If you know me, I am highly caffeinated. It's really bad, actually.
Fellow caffeine addict. Gotta love it.
Exactly. And then I just dive into projects. Each day I'm working on different clients and different projects that either delivery dates are different, scope of work is different. We do all different types of content ranging from street style interviews to UGC, literally everything. And, always wanting to stay on top of that, client meetings as well, always checking in just to make sure everything's going good. And I don't know. I always want to be improving. So that's pretty much it. And then I'll just work. I'm also starting to post my own content. So I'm finding ways to fit that into my daily schedule. It gets busy.
Yeah. Okay, so then work during the day, like do you take a little lunch break? Do you take a little brain breaks during the day? What does your wind down look like? Give us like the nitty-gritty tangible.
Okay. So I'm getting better about the wind down and like taking brain breaks because I used to when I first started. So it's been 9 months now of this. And like when I first started, I was just like go, go, go. But I realized really quickly that like I would get burnt out. So like the next day I would go to get started and it would just be really difficult. So I will go to the gym, trying to be better about that. I think that's a really just great way to like move your body. But I can usually sit down and get work done from like 10 a.m. to like 2, and then I'll have to take a brain break. And then I'll usually go like into the night, but I'll find a place usually around like 5 or 6 to like go to the gym, move my body. And then sometimes I work until like 11 p.m. Like
Okay, so are
last
you a
night,
night owl more than a morning person, or what are
I
you?
am a night owl, but I'm forcing myself not to be a night owl because that's
Okay.
like not, it doesn't work. So I'll just do work until like usually 11, 10:30, and then I'll go to sleep because I'm just exhausted from the day. The eye strain is real when you work in social media.
Yeah, are you like a blue light glasses girl? Do you believe in them or no?
I don't. I probably should, but I'm color grading sometimes on like when I'm editing, and seeing the yellow would like mess that up. So I have to like be able to see exactly what it looks like. But I probably should. I spend all day on my phone. My screen time is crazy, but that's the thing
Outrageous.
they don't tell you about working in social media.
So are you with working on your phone all day? Like, do you have to like do a little midday charge on your phone? Like, will your phone last charge all day?
Okay, so like a typical shoot day, if I have one, and I'm shooting for different clients, my phone will usually die at like 12:30. And that's how you know it's been like a crazy shoot day. And like if you saw my camera roll, I have 100,000 photos and videos. Like it's horrible. So I always get that notification that's like iPhone storage is full.
What am I supposed to do about that? Because like I get it all the time and I'm like, okay, like trying to upload these to Google Photos, it's going to take 5 years. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I just blissfully ignore it and just live in the ignorance. Like, is there a remedy?
Well, usually my biggest thing that takes up storage is CapCut because I do my editing in there.
Yeah.
So I'll have like 80 gigabytes being used in CapCut. So I'll go and just like clear out my projects. Usually when I look at my CapCut, like after a long week, I'll have like 120 projects that I've worked on. And if I clear them out, it will free up literally 80 gigabytes of storage and I'm fine. But
Okay.
yeah.
Hack for our content creators or wannabe content creators. There we go. Okay,
Yeah.
so tell me what this stage of your life, this is like a loaded, like everyone uses this phrase of like work life balance. Do you, there's no right or wrong answer. Do you believe in work life balance? Do you believe, oh my gosh, like that's like a scam? You know, like what are your thoughts in this current season of life after building, you know, multiple businesses on work life balance? I'm really curious.
So I think it's what you make of it, also, like what you call the life balance part of it, because I am fortunate enough to do what I love. So work and life kind of mix themselves.
It's when you know you're in the
Um,
right place.
exactly, which it's very lucky. Most people don't get to say that. I found a passion and now I get to do it for work, which is love and hate. But no, I work a lot. I don't have as much of a balance right now. Just as I said, like this season of my life, I'm just building. Like I want to just keep hitting new milestones every month. I think in order to do that, I just need to like keep pushing the marker back and like being, because like January I was like, oh, I feel like I can't take on more, but then I got to February and I was like, oh, I can take on more. Each month it keeps getting easier to be able to perform at a certain level. I do enjoy life outside, but like my enjoying is like going to dinner with my boyfriend and like just having like a no screen times thing, or watching a movie or show. I've been obsessed with like Love Story. I don't know if you've been watching that.
No, I haven't.
It's really good. It's really
Okay,
good.
good to know. I need something new to watch, so I will mental note right there.
You should. You should. It's really. I'll watch like something like that just to like take my mind off of things. But honestly, for work life balance, like I have it, and I know like I do workouts, I'll do stuff like that to clear my mind, but I love working, so I kind of just will always be working. That's my thing.
Yeah,
That's my thing.
absolutely. Okay, so in this current season of your life, this is your building season. What have you learned and what do you think this season is teaching you?
Learned a lot. Um, I think the most interesting part about being an entrepreneur is that you learn something every single day. You're
Yes.
constantly improving upon your skills, which is something that I love. But like even looking at projects from 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I'm like, oh my God, like I've improved so much since that, or I've learned like a better way to do this or that. So I think there's been a lot that I've just taught myself, and also like delegating has been something great as we keep growing. When we first started, my boyfriend and I started it together, and I handle more of like the creative side. He handles more of like the sales and business side of it, since that's like he's really good at it. I don't know how he does it, but I think it's really important to delegate and just keep growing as a company as you grow, because like, you take on more clients, you take on more work. You need to find the best way to be able to do that. We brought on first editors, which has been something that changed my life. I don't edit as much now, but I do creative leads. So I concept and all write scripts and everything for all of the videos, but then we send it over. They work overnight and then we get it back in the morning. That's just something that like has really improved.
How did
Within
you
that.
find your editors?
Honestly, there's so many platforms now where you can go and find people who do freelance work.
Yeah.
And we, tested out some different people, and then we found someone or a couple of people that are really good at it and we just like could work with easily. And it's much cheaper if you do it overseas. So like our editors are overseas, and also like the time difference is super helpful,
Yeah.
because so like I'll come back from a shoot at 10:30, 11 p.m. This will be like a night shoot for street interviews. Immediately when I get home, I upload everything and I write scripts out for what I want it to look like, because you have to remember that there is a language barrier there, and like they don't understand everything when it comes to humor, when it comes to how something like should be said. So I write out scripts. This is like rough, but it gives them an idea of where they need to be going in the videos to grab. And then by the next morning, we have the first drafts of those videos. So that's like just something that I've always said is like the level of customer support you need, because everyone can do your job. Like everyone can do your job and like people can make videos, but if you are able to provide someone amazing service and they enjoy working with you and they feel like there's that open communication, then you can really just become part of their journey and their business. And that's the most important thing. So that's definitely something I've learned. So we brought editors on, which has been super helpful. And right now we're in the season.
If that's like a breath of like fresh air for you.
Exactly. So when I first started, I was editing for hours on hours on hours. Like it was a lot, going through raw footage and editing everything, and post production, color grading, subtitles, everything was a lot. So bringing them on, that was a huge step onto taking more projects. And then recently we've been hiring creators. So these are people who will go out and do these street interviews for our clients.
So you're basically duplicating yourself.
Exactly, which is, I think, one of the hardest parts in business, but like a very important growth spot. Like you have to start delegating and you have to realize that it's not going to be you doing everything. So giving up that control, I think, is something hard. But if you don't do it, you will stay stagnant. So right now we're hiring on creators and, training them. So I'm still kind of going out with them, or, giving them briefs before, this is what you need to say, this is what you need to do, like this is how you should approach people. But it's been great, and that's taken a lot of stress off because now I'm just, like guiding them, which is really exciting. Just continuing to grow in different ways of the business as well as personally. Like, just, I think having a business, people don't talk about like the stress that really comes with it, and like what you always feel like you need to be doing something. And if you're not,
Preach, preach.
you feel guilty if you're not. So it's like, I think I've grown so much personally since starting this, and just knowing like, okay, this is what I can actually get done today, and creating goals that are achievable for the day, and at the same time taking care of myself, which is what we were just talking about before. Like finding an hour to go to the gym or something like that is so important, just for your mental too, and just being able to get through a week of a lot to do and still enjoying it, because I think that there's something to be said about enjoying the work that you do and just doing it. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Oh my gosh, I love learning from you. It's so cool. I love talking with people like in different industries, because it's just like, one, that's your whole concept I'm so impressed by. And I'm so excited to hear like about when we unpack your past seasons of like what you had to go through to get to where you are today, and like when the idea came into your head, and just kind of how it's morphed over time. So I want to start unpacking that. Give me the seasons of life you had to go through to get to where you are today. And it doesn't even have to be with glass fault. Like it could be back in high school. Like you can take me as far back as you want, but walk me through the different seasons that you've had to go through.
Okay. It's kind of crazy how it all happened. And there's something that Steve Jobs said that I always live by now, and it's, when you're in the midst of doing all of it, you can't see exactly like how the dots are going to connect. But when you're kind of past that place, now I can sit back and like connect all of these dots and be like, "Oh, that led me to this and that." So that's what I'm going to do now, which is really interesting. But in college, so I went to University of Georgia, and I I was a junior in sophomore, freshman year. I was typical sorority girl. Like I just enjoyed going out and, doing social different parties and stuff like that. Like I wasn't really driven to be doing something like this, and I wasn't exactly sure like what I wanted in life. Was I switched majors a lot in school. I started out wanting to be a psychiatrist, and then I tried to go business for a little bit, and then I went back to psychology, and then junior year was really where I had like this humongous shift in energy and just drive. So I started studying for my LSATs. I
Okay.
didn't
Plot
know if you know
twist.
that about me.
No.
Okay. So randomly, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I felt super lost, and I thought that it would give me purpose if I went to law school and had 4 more years to figure out what my passion was. And like I thought it would be just better to, have like a title as like a lawyer and just be something that like I could be proud of and feel fulfilled. I don't even think I knew why I was doing it. I just wanted to do it because I felt lost. So I studied for my LSATs for 6 months. Like
Okay,
this,
so you were committed to the bit.
I was committed to the bit, but I wasn't at the same time. Like my heart wasn't in it. So I was studying a lot. And this was when I kind of like took myself out of like the social scene at Georgia and I just kind of locked in. Like I was studying a lot, and I was, starting to take my tests. And there was this moment that hit where I was like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I spending so much time studying for this when I don't even know like why I'm studying for it? At the same time, I meet my boyfriend. So Griffin is a big part of my story, and not saying like he gets all the credit for it, but I think that the people that you surround yourself with really determine like how you think and how you're going to act. So I met Griffin, which was really fun. We had friends that were mutuals, got connected, and he had started a business in sophomore year of college, which is like much more normal at Miami, but he was super driven. He started a custom pickleball paddle company. Originally, it was, just like it's called Killadinks, and originally it was just Killadinks branded gear. What I actually have. So this is like
Yes, please show it off.
like mascot guy. So it's based on a Killa bear. So that's like the KB. And we actually have like all of the merch in here. Like here's like a gigantic paddle.
Love.
And like the carpets literally. Okay. But so he did his company based off of a Killa bear, which was an NFT. And it was originally just all of these, paddles, t-shirts. He didn't really know exactly where it was going. And then he got his first sale January of 2024, I think, of a custom branded paddle. Someone asked him like, "Hey, can I put my logo on this paddle?" He was like, "Yeah, I mean, I already manufacture." And this was also something that like now I just think is so normal, but like he knew how to talk with people in China about manufacturing products, getting them for wholesale, delivering them here. Like such interesting things that so many kids in college just aren't thinking about whatsoever. Again, I think that
And I think too on this, not to get you off track, like don't let me get you off track at all. But I think it's people let like not knowing how to do something become an excuse and then they don't try at all. It's like the most successful people in the world, they didn't know how to do what they created either, but they just figured it out. And I think you have to get over that hump of not knowing how to do something, accept that and be like, okay, we'll just figure it out. And I think with literally we have chat GPT at our fingertips now. Like we don't have any excuses. Like if you are letting the fear or excuse of not knowing how to do something hold you back, like it's literally a pathetic excuse at this point because
it
you
is.
have it at your fingertips. You could figure anything out.
You're totally right. And I just thought it was so interesting that he was able to do this, like I didn't know about any of these platforms. Like, I mean, I guess like Alibaba, Upwork, all of these different platforms where you can like either make products or you can work with people who do freelancing and all of this stuff. So he kind of like let me in on this. At this point, it was like end of junior year. I was still studying for my LSATs, wasn't really getting the scores back that I wanted. And I was supposed to have an internship over the summer that was with a law firm. So, like 1 week before the internship started, I got word that I wasn't going to get it. Like something had happened internally with the company and I wasn't getting the internship. Little did I know this was like a huge blessing because this is where everything starts for me. So I decided I had seen a girl on social media that I grew up with who was just doing something so different. She quit her corporate job and she started her own marketing agency. And she was posting on social media And at this time, like, people aren't doing that. It's really different and out there to be doing that. And I reached out to her and I was like, I would love to work for you. You don't need to pay me, you don't need to do anything. I will just want to touch on any project that you're doing because I really loved what she was doing. At this point, I had no marketing experience whatsoever, but I decided, and she was like, hi, I would love that. Like, let's hop on a call. So I ended up interning with her. Her name is Claire Brodsky. She still kills it. And it's so interesting to see now, like, as I work backwards in this, but that was like my first intro into this digital marketing and social media world. So I got to touch on like some projects where I was like making logos, social media posts, managing an account, a lot of that. And right at that time, I was hungry. I just wanted anything I could do. I was so driven and I knew I wanted to be doing so much more. So I got a job at a Pilates studio that was nearby. And I asked them, I was like, do you have like anyone doing graphic design for you? Like, I would love to just like send you stuff to post. So they let me do that too. So I was creating graphics just like on Canva, teaching myself all of this. And then I think it was July, Griffin said to me, you can totally say no, but really would love to see what you could do for Kill It Inc. Like, our social media presence isn't really there. And maybe, you make like a couple of graphics to post, or you do this or that, and like, let's show off like all of our custom paddles. At this point, we had done about like 15 or 20 custom paddles with companies. And this is really where everything just shifted completely. So I ended up coming in and eventually becoming like the director of marketing for the company, where we were working on huge collaborations.
Like huge. Will you please like brag on yourself just a little bit? Like, I want people to know. We're gonna intro you at the beginning, by the way. I'm gonna like film it at the end. But like, brag on yourself a little bit, drop the company names. Like, don't be humble here.
Okay. So we worked on huge campaigns with we worked on custom paddle campaigns with some huge companies. Sharpie, Apple, Poppy. We did 2 rounds of Poppy paddles actually. Worked closely with their team. Hard Rock was a big launch for us. We got launched into 12 different Hard Rock locations around the country, doing custom paddles with them. So many just like crazy connections and companies. And then I was handling all of the social media for that, which means I'm working directly with teams like Sharpie to be doing a collaboration post, which, I mean, they have like 500,000 followers. Senior year of college, I was focused on this. I was so focused.
And this is, yes, that's what I like was gonna like pause you and be like, okay, tell them like what stage of life. So you're still in college and you're fully doing marketing for companies like Sharpie and Poppy and companies like that. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, this is the craziest story, but I was sitting in my Spanish class and I knew that one of like our biggest collabs was coming out, and I was the one posting it, inviting Sharpie to collab, and also an artist that had painted on these paddles because we had popped up at an Art Basel event, like one of the main events scope. They were painting a custom pickleball paddle court, and we brought them custom paddles for this artist to draw on. So I'm sitting in my Spanish class and I know that the post is going out at 12. So I run to the bathroom and I'm sitting in there. I post this. They accept the collaboration. Both the artist and Sharpie accept it. And I'm just sitting there freaking out. There's literally a picture of me and I'm like, like freaking out that this is going out right now. And I'm sitting in literally the UGA bathroom waiting for everyone to like accept it, making sure it's all good and perfect. Because I had been working on this collab for 2.5 months, working with videographer, editor, going through draft revisions with the Sharpie team. This was huge for me and it was so exciting. But yeah, I mean, and no one in the class knew. And I came back, I was like smiling ear to ear and everyone's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I just did a collab with Sharpie. Like, what? Like, you go for a pen, you're reaching for a Sharpie. And it just shows you so firsthand you can touch on any of these companies if you work hard. If you're just a little delusional, you can do literally anything, which is the craziest thing.
Life's too short
So,
to play it safe. I'm a firm believer in that. Like, actually, I was listening to a girl, shout out M on the Brain. Do you listen to M on the Brain at all?
no.
Okay, so she is a neuroscientist. She has a podcast and everything, but she has lots of good nuggets. And one nugget that I listened to recently was she was saying that any belief you have is a limiting belief.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's put it in terms of social media. Say you are like, I want to have 100,000 followers.
Yeah.
That's a good amount of followers, but you're putting yourself in that box when in reality, if like you might have the potential to have 2 million followers, but you've only put yourself in the box of 100,000. So her whole concept was like, life is so short. Why do you keep putting yourself in like these lower boxes? Like, you have the ability to put yourself in any box you want to based on what you believe in your mind. And I'm such a firm believer of that, of like, you have to get your mindset right in order to achieve what you want. So
100%. And I think, I was a senior in college, and you can put yourself in that box and be like, oh, well, I'm in school, I'm having my best years of my life. Like, why would I start working when I have to work for the rest of my life and all this stuff? But I didn't want to think like that. I wanted to be doing something crazy and different. Senior year was just crazy. I was going to the pickle. So Griffin would ship me our paddles. So for example, our Poppy collab, they were launching their cherry cola flavor, and we had done custom paddles for them. And I wanted to do like a whole campaign around it. But, I'm in Georgia. Like, what am I going to do? I'm not with the Poppy team or anything. So I got a couple of my friends to go out to the pickleball courts at UGA, like literally the campus pickleball courts. I took my friend's camera and I taught myself how to use it. I taught myself how to use Lightroom and everything. And I just staged this whole entire Poppy photo shoot. And I ended up doing that 10 times. I would just ask my friends, I was like, can we go? You'll be a model, and I will just set you up with like all of these poses. And I literally just made them model, and I would take pictures of them. I would do videos so I could post these campaigns. And we did this, and then February was when the Hard Rock paddles were launching into stores, and that was my first time working on an influencer campaign. So I had influencers going out to these locations in California and New York and finding the paddles in the store, going back and forth with them and the Hard Rock team to do collab posts. So we ended up doing a collab post with like the official Hard Rock Cafe Instagram. And then we also did one with the Hard Rock New York and the Hard Rock in California. This was like huge for me. I was like freaking out, and I'm just like sitting there doing work in my little Athens college house, and everything. Also, oh my gosh. Also, at this time, I decided to get another internship because I felt like I needed more experience. So I got an internship with a law firm out here in Miami because I thought it would set me up perfectly, to move out here and everything. And so I was doing that. I was working with them part-time, but I would have different assignments due every day, and I was running their social medias and everything like that. I did that for 6 months in hopes of getting a full-time job, because even when you're doing all of this stuff, you still keep getting told over and over again, like, you don't have enough experience, your portfolio is not vast enough, all of this stuff. So super interesting. That's kind of my college experience. End of senior year, like I had a internship. I was full-time marketing with Killadinks, doing all of their partnerships and giveaways and everything, just talking with all of these company leads. And then I moved to Miami, which was amazing and great. And I got a corporate job.
Let's unpack that.
Yeah. I
Wait,
think
wait.
there's a lot.
There's three things I want to unpack before we go into the corporate
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
One, how did you know? Did you know right away that Griffin was different from like any other guy that you had met? Or did like that come later? I want for the girls listening, I know they're probably intrigued too. Like, did you know he was different right off the bat? Give us the inside scoop.
I knew that there was something so different about him. The first time that I met him, we we were kind of inseparable after that, which was crazy. And just the way that he talked about business and being driven and loving what he does and just picking a different path was so interesting to me. Like I just instantly fell in love. I was like, I need to be surrounded by someone like this because I feel like he could help me reach my true potential. Because it's like, I totally think the people you surround yourself with influence you. I don't know if I'd be doing what I would be doing now, like if I didn't have this guidance and kind of just like seeing someone doing it. But I think it was so interesting because when I met him, there was just like this switch. And literally after the first week, like we said to each other, like, we're dating, we're not like seeing other people or anything. And I was like, I feel like I just met my person. And there's just like this feeling that you have where it's your person. And I mean, we're in college, there's all of this stuff going on. And like, I been through like freshman, sophomore year and everything. This was just so different. Like immediately we just connected and I was like, wow, something's different here. And like I was just so excited about it. I think I was most attracted to like just his drive because I had never seen
It's
that.
so attractive. A driven, ambitious man. There's nothing better.
His mentality is just like, if I want it, I will attain it. Which I just think is so confident and cool. And it's like, now I think that way. It's like, oh, I want this. Like, if I work towards it, like, there's no reason why I shouldn't have it. It goes back to like those limiting beliefs that you share.
Yes. Okay. I am so glad we just paused and unpacked that because if you're a girl listening and you're with a man who is not making you better, like you're settling. And so I hope like maybe that inspires a girl to like get out of it and quit settling that like there's a man out there who like will make you better.
100%. Like,
Yes.
they should be challenging you every single day and be calling you out and be like, I think you could have done better on that. I think you could have worked harder for that. I think that that's something that's so important. And like, I don't know, even if I like didn't get a project done or something, Griffin would be like, I feel like you could have and like you should have. I don't know. It just like it changed my whole idea of like a work ethic and like working with your partner too. I think is
Yeah, how is that? We're getting a little off track, but I'm digging this conversation and know it's impacting somebody. But how is working with your boyfriend?
it's good. It's really hard. Like when you mix work and your emotional partner, there's so many things that you have to like guide through and also like setting boundaries and being like, okay, like we're in work mode or we're not in work mode, but we work so well together and like he has all of the qualities that I don't have. And like same with him with me. Like I have that creative side where I make the videos, I concept the videos, all of that. And then he has the side where he's just like super ambitious, business oriented, and has like great customer service. Like everything like that is just like we complement each other very well. So, but it's definitely been something that we've been guiding through. And like everyone will tell you, never work with your partner, but I don't trust anyone like I trust him. So I don't know. It's
I love it.
different. It's fun.
I love it. Okay. So the second thing to unpack before we dive into your corporate era, is I want to hear about your move to Miami because you're moving from college town to a big city. Was that a hard transition, easy transition, making friends? I know a lot of girls that are listening, they might be in college or post grad. Like, speak on your experience with a big move.
Yeah. So I had been coming to Miami since Griffin lived in Miami, went to U Miami. So I've been coming here during the weekends a lot, but it was a scary move, but it was also one that I was really ready for. I had outgrown Athens a lot. By senior year, like I really wanted out. I was not the happiest in the small town, and I just like I knew I needed a place where I felt like I was going to be able to achieve my goals and like going to like the University of Georgia pickleball courts every day. Like I needed something more than that to just be able to, keep leveling up, I feel like. So senior year was definitely hard. And then when I finally got to move to Miami, it was like a breath of fresh air. Like I was so ready and so excited. And everything was kind of lined up with the place, which is nice. So we were able to just move in. And then making friends has been post grad life is very interesting. Like very, very interesting. Because you feel like you should be doing certain things, but then, you're also an adult and you also are working. And for me, I also like have a business and like I'm doing all this. And it's very interesting just guiding through like becoming an adult, and you kind of just get thrown into it. You kind of just get thrown into the real world, and you're given like all of these real world tasks and, money, which is like interesting. But especially in Miami, it and where I live specifically in Brickell, it's like kind of a bizarre world. Like everyone here is a character. That's how I like to say it. Like you go
Okay.
outside and it's just like everyone is doing something different, some sort of different business venture. They're killing it, by the way. Like they're oh, the cars here and like everything, I've become so desensitized to it because it's actually bad. But it's just like everywhere, everyone is doing something different. They're super successful in it. You never know who you're gonna meet when you go outside. But moving to Miami has been great. And meeting people, it's a little bit harder. As a girl, it's just hard to meet people, especially like I felt like this for a couple of years is like I'm at like a different life stage than the people my age because like I have a boyfriend, like we live together. I don't really go out that much. I enjoy more of like the wellness side of Miami and everything. So I've kind of found it hard to just always like relate to people, but you know, 8 months later, I have some really great friends that like I love hanging out with. And like, I think friendships serve different purposes. Like some are like people I talk about work with, some are people, I go for a coffee date with, or something like that. But it's definitely hard to move out of your comfort zone and just like be in a different area and with different people.
Post grad friendships are hard, but they're not impossible, but it's just so different because like when you're in college, it's so easy to become best friends with somebody like quickly because you have
Yeah.
way more time on your hands. Your lives are revolving around the same thing. And like you can kind of like just do everything together
Yeah.
compared to like when you're post grad and you each have your own adult lives and adult jobs. One, you don't have as much time, and then your lives aren't revolving around the same thing.
Yeah. Totally.
And it's just,
You can like plan stuff out like 2 weeks in
my gosh,
advance or a month
yes.
in
And
advance.
I am like, okay, obviously I have a planner company. So in my business, I am like the most type A, everything is planned out. But I think I revolt in my personal life because of that. And I'm like, I don't want to plan. I want to like go where the wind takes me, go with the flow. I'm like the most type B, carefree person ever. And that was hard for me to adjust to post grad because when your friends are all spread out all over the place, if you don't plan and put stuff in the calendar, you don't see your people.
Yeah. No,
And
for sure. It's crazy. It's a weird transition for
yeah,
sure.
a weird adjustment season for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so now that we've unpacked love life and moving, let's go dive into the corporate era. Give me corporate era and then exit me from your corporate era to where we are today.
Okay. So I graduated from school and I felt like I needed to get a corporate job. I felt like this is what I would always say to myself is I feel like I need the grit of a corporate job to know how good I have it if I don't have a corporate job. And I
love that mentality. Okay.
I also just saw everyone around me like getting their dream jobs with like their dream salaries. And, there's something about like the safety of having a job that sounded really nice to me. I don't know why at the moment, but so I got a job with a company. They were in the pickleball field. They were also in like tech software. And I started with them I ended up staying for 2.5 months. But I was.
You knew quick.
Oh, I quit. Yeah.
But no, I said you knew quick. Yeah.
I said, and you quit.
That too, both.
But yeah, it was quick because I started up the marketing agency when I got there. So basically, I was doing work with them and when you go on a website and they tell you like, talk with chatbot.
Mm-hmm.
I was chatbot. So when you were going on, like I was the support agent. And this was just like a super humbling experience for me because I was like, I have so much experience. Like I've worked on these huge projects and marketing and, all this stuff. And then you get thrown into the corporate world and you're like, you're chatbot.
Wow. Clip that. I love learning new things about you because I would have never known that you were chatbot. I bet you were the best chatbot there was.
I can't lie. I was really not good at it. Okay. I was really not. And like, I just felt like I wasn't living up to my true potential at all. So what I decided to do, well, at the same time, I was still working on Kill It Inc. So running their socials, running their collabs, giveaways, everything like that. I decided to start doing freelance for people I'd met because with Kill It Inc., people were buying paddles with the sole purpose of us doing marketing for them, us making videos for them, doing collabs, all of this stuff. And then I said to myself, like, okay, I'm really good at editing. I'm really good at, videoing, going to shoots and stuff like that. So many people had come up to me and they were like, I would love to do social media content with you. So I said to myself, why don't I reach back out to those people and do freelance for them on the side? So I reached out to probably like 10 to 15 people and I ended up getting 5 people coming back and they were like, yeah, let's do it. So now I have my corporate job, I'm working Kill It Inc. And then I started doing freelance for companies, going to shoots, editing, all of the above. A lot of clients. And I realized that I was tripling my salary that I was making at my corporate job. And I was at this place. This was like a crazy season because I was at this place where I had a decision to make. I can stay at the safety of my corporate life, or I can take the chance on this marketing agency. Because if I don't quit, I won't have the time I need to devote to clients. I can't take on more clients at this pace, And I was like saying I would have like a doctor's appointment to go to a shoot, all of this stuff. If you are my post company, all right, don't see this.
Okay. Honestly, I think sometimes entrepreneurs make the worst employees.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, but continue.
I would be like working on like posting a Kill It Inks post at lunch, and then like I would take like client meetings. I would always sit at Sweet Green and just like take all my client meetings. And I just had this moment where I was like, if I don't quit, I can't grow this. And I think that this can be huge. So I quit. I put my 2 weeks notice in and I left the corporate job. And this was right when I took on a lot more clients. And these were retainer clients that were coming on and I was doing huge projects for. This was just when everything changed. And then Griffin, really came in on it with me. And we made this a real business. And we started, taking on clients, doing big shoots. We started working with really big companies. Like, we did social media videos for Poppy. Now we've done them for, it's all over the place. A lot of CPG products. We do street interviews, we do skits, we do UGC style, kind of everything. We do podcast clips too. Like, we do all of these different types of shoots, and we've gotten to work with really cool clients. Like, Good Wipes, they're like a big wipe brand. We do a lot of social media for them. Poppy, Nello, Oh Snap Pickles, like all over the place with these brands, but they trust me to be doing their social media, and like they're coming to me for like consulting advice. And we do content for a company called Nightcap. It's a drink cover.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually have one. So
I've seen your videos on this one.
And then inside is a drink cover. So what we said is like, we want to create skit style content for this. Like, we're going to a bar, a guy hits on me, and I feel uncomfortable, so I put this on. We've now gotten over 300 million views by doing this skit style content. It's like,
wow.
These videos are blowing up. So like, one video got 40 million views. And the most amazing part about this is you are teaching people about drink spiking and drink spiking awareness that you're spreading. And, you could save someone's life by making this video. So we work with a tick company, and we do skit videos where I'm like, oh my God, I found a tick on my ear. And like, they've seen over 10 million views through these videos. Like, it's crazy the amount of reach that you can have. And like, now I play like such an integral part in these businesses, and it's so exciting. I love it.
Okay, so 2 things I want to unpack from your past season now that we're kind of in Glass Vault is the name of your company, which they'll know that in your intro. But one, how did you, because like you're doing these skits, you're doing these interviews, have you always, because that requires a level of like, you don't care what people think, and like you're okay with like things being awkward and making a fool of yourself sometimes, and cringe. Like, have you always been like, I don't care what people think? Or was that something you had to learn and like improve on?
I was always the girl that cared what everyone thought of her. I would always be super self-aware and anxious and like caring, like, oh, like, does she think I was never like this. And then something senior year just like changed for me, where I just really wanted to put myself out there and just be different. And then when I moved to Miami, everyone here is doing social media. Everyone here is posting. Everyone here is doing that. So it's so much more normalized. And also, like, I am the face of a lot of these brands now, which is something that's really interesting. Like, you go on Nightcap's Instagram, every single video almost is me. And like, they know, like, I'm the girl who gets her drink spiked or something like that. I was never like that. Like, I was never like an actor, like someone who would like be the funniest person at like a bar when like your friend, like, I was never very extroverted like that. I was always very talkative, but I literally could not care what anyone thinks, because I don't care. I just stopped caring because I was like, if I don't care, I release myself from like, I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is, but something just clicked and I was like, I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm going to post what I want to post. And I started posting on my social media, like my main page, like videos and everything. I know that people are sending it. I know that they're being like, oh my God, she's being so cringe, like all this stuff. But like everyone's cringe until they make it.
Yes, yes.
That's what I say to myself. Like every time I'm like, you know what? Like one day it won't be cringe. Like one day, like, and also the thing is like I do it for work. So it's like, it's a little different, but I don't know. I just stopped caring completely and just was like, this is my calling.
I love that. For the girl listening, take that as your sign to like quit caring what everybody is thinking and their opinions. This is my take on that is I think the people who are going to judge you about posting on social media or putting yourself out there are the people who don't have the confidence to do it themselves.
Everyone wants to do it, but they don't have they can't do it themselves. So if they're judging you, like it's a reflection on themselves.
Yes. And so it's like when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, you're literally holding yourself back for people who don't have the confidence to do it themselves. So it's like, why would you hold yourself back for someone like that? And I think when you put it in that perspective, like take this as your sign, break free from that and like let your full, authentic, genuine self shine. Quit holding back for the opinions of others that didn't have the confidence to do it themselves.
Sorry, give me 1 second. My building is calling me.
No, go. No, you're so good. I edit all of them. I should have said that at the beginning.
Sorry. Hi, you can send them up.
No, please don't apologize. I literally thought about that before we started. I was like, I should have told you, like, hey, like, I can always clip something out, by the way, too. Also, this is like the best combo. I'm loving this.
Really?
I'm like
I'm just yapping up a storm here.
Well, it's so easy with you. It's literally so easy with you. But yeah, I feel like we're so in our element right now.
I love it. I think something about posting on social media is so relieving in a way where it's like you know that there are people who are going to judge you, but you have like if you look at your posts sometimes like I have like 99% of non-followers who are watching this. And
you have 99%?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like my videos are going out to people who like I don't know, and they're DMing me asking like, how did you start this? How did you get into this business? Like, how do I do that? And it's like those are the things that make it all so worth it for me. And just like I've met so many cool people through doing this, and it's a whole different world of social media. Like the way that people are able to connect, the way that this is the craziest thing for me is that, and something I've realized, people who are in the marketing industry who are older, they're not looking to them anymore to give them advice. They're looking to people who are my age, who grew up in social media, who now understand exactly how it works, and people who are just going to be able to really perform for them and not be doing things old school, but doing things in the new way. So I think it's crazy for me sometimes when I'm like on a call and they're like, well, what do you think? Like, how should we be marketing ourselves? And so many people told me like, oh, you don't have enough experience and all this stuff. And it's like, but I do. You just had to like go through all these different seasons in order to get to that place where you're like, I do know what I'm doing. People do trust me. And like, I'm just following my gut. So now I can go back and connect all of these dots. But before I had no idea where it was taking me, honestly. And it was a crazy ride, but like I wouldn't change it for anything.
Mm-hmm. I think every season of life has a purpose. It could be a terrible season that was really, really hard and a struggle, and it serves a purpose like to get you to where you're supposed to be. You know, it could be the best season of your life, like full, you know, I think that nothing is a mistake or happens by accident.
No, I agree. And like, I think so many people were always like, oh, this is so cringe and stuff. But it's like now I get text messages where it's like I'm watching from the sidelines, and like I get emails from girls who are, seniors, juniors in college at UGA, and they're like, do you have jobs, or like are you hiring, and all this stuff. And I just think that that's something that is the most inspiring thing to me, because it's like I remember I was that girl junior year summer when I didn't get my internship. I emailed that girl and I was like, I will work for you for free, I want to do anything. And it's just very cool to me. It's very cool. So
Honestly, after us like unpacking your story a little bit more, my biggest takeaway from you is the common theme throughout your story is you don't wait for it just to come to you. You make it happen, which is like, I'm so glad we had you on, which is so on brand for season, because that's literally our slogan is make it happen. But like when you look at every season of your life, you took action and went after whatever you wanted to make it happen, which I think is so stinking cool.
thanks.
Okay, so we could talk for forever. So where I want to take us is I want to hear two things. We're going to go two things to end off this episode. I want to hear what you're dreaming about. So like your future season. What are you dreaming about? What goals do you have? All the things. And then I also want to leave the girls and I want like your top social media tips. Like give us like your insider scoop for girls who maybe they want to get into marketing or maybe they want to get into content creation. Give us all the things we should know. Okay, so future season, what are you dreaming of? What are your goals? Give me the rundown.
Yeah, I think this is a super interesting season of my life, and just moving into these next stages with Glass Vault and continuing to scale and bringing on new people to just continue building out this team and continue just growing. And I think that's going to be something that's so important as we keep scaling, and also just like keeping my mental good and, always being in that mindset that I was in that first month of just like, you are going to make it if you work hard enough to. So I just want to keep growing, and I want to grow personally as well. And I think that that comes so much quicker when you're an entrepreneur. And I'm just really excited for where everything can take me, because, in this line of work, tomorrow you could be working with one of the biggest companies in the world. You just never know. Or, you could be going to a networking event in Miami and meeting someone that you never thought you would meet. And I think that goes into like my biggest tips for girls that are, in college, who don't know where their path is going right now, who feel super lost. That's going to be the biggest thing, is just network with anyone that you can network with. Go to every single event, you never know where you can meet someone. And you never know what this conversation could mean for your life. I've met people in some of the weirdest ways, and they've become either some of like my biggest clients or, my biggest mentors in life. So go to the event that you don't want to go to because you're too tired. Go because you don't know what can come out of it. I think also something is like, if you're looking to get into the marketing industry, social media, and all of this, do free work. That's something that's just, go out, make a video for someone and send it to them. Go out and ask someone to work for them for free. Do anything that you can to just touch on projects. There are so many companies these days coming up. There's snacks, there's drinks, there's everything, and everyone needs help. That's what I've learned so much. And no one is going to say no to doing free work, making content for them. You can be an affiliate on, TikTok or something like that. It is so easy to get involved if you just work hard enough. And I've gotten so many clients from going and doing a video for free for them and then just being like, I can do this for your company. You know, like one of our biggest projects that we've worked on, I literally went and did a shoot for free because I was like, I want you so badly. I will get you if I just, you know, show you what I can do. Just take it seriously because this is a real profession now. You know, it's not just like being cringe or something. Like you can make this your livelihood and your job. So if you take it seriously and you go for it and you don't care what anyone thinks, because girl, they're going to judge you anyways. That's the thing. Like no one, something that was really hard for me to realize is that, but also like taught me a lot, is that people will love to watch you doing well, but until you're doing better than them, it will change. So always just, you know, work for yourself, work and like take care of yourself and trust your gut. That's what I would just say. There's so much that you can do if you put your mind to it, and you got to be a little delusional.
Thank you, Lainey. I know this combo is going to make such impact on so many women. And honestly, my biggest takeaways from you is be delusional, like dream big, believe it. But then I think that's where people stop a lot of times. They will think of these things, but then they don't do the action to back it up and they don't actually go make it happen. And what I take away from you is you had these big dreams and you were quote unquote delusional, but you did the work and you took action to actually make it happen. And that combo is what makes a successful person and when things actually start to happen. And so I think our biggest takeaway from this conversation is dream it, believe it, but go do the work to make it come to life.
Like you will be working at, like when I had my corporate job, I was working at 2 a.m. in order to get stuff done. But like if you work hard, you can achieve anything. And you're delusional because you need the delusional in there.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, Lainey, thank you so much. Tell people where they can find you, where they can find your business, anything you want to plug it now.
Okay. You guys can go and follow me on Instagram, Lainey Green, and my marketing agency is called Glass Vault. If you guys are looking for anyone to make social media content for you, please book a call with us. That's it.